class. So today we will study on a new chapter, which is chapter 9 about the vertebrates. Okay, vertebrates means animals that have the backbones. So before we start, we need to know first about the phylum of Chordata, which is phylum Chordata can be divided into three subphyla. Subphyla Cephalochordata and Subphylum Urochordata is under invertebrate chordates, and the last subphylum is Subphylum Vertebrata, which is under the group of vertebrate chordates. So the phylum Chordata consists of majority of species that are vertebrate, meaning to say they have a backbone, and minority of them are invertebrate chordates. So phylum Chordates, or the member is known as chordates, are deuterostome coelomates, as you can see here, and their body with body plan with a bilateral symmetry, in which when you cut it into two parts, okay, the right side is same with the left side. So typically they possess an endoskeleton, okay, and also a closed circulatory system. A closed circulatory system meaning to say that they have a heart and a blood vessel in which all of the blood are confined in the blood vessel. And chordate also have segmented body, okay, as you can see over here, even though it is not obvious. So for instance, the muscles and also the nerves of vertebrate are segmentally organized. So there are four general characteristics under the phylum of Chordata. The first one is known as a notochord. Okay, all of the phylum Chordata possess notochord. Notochord is a long flexible rod. Okay, here this one, a long flexible rod of mesoderm that found in all chordates. Okay, so invert is replaced. So in vertebrates, okay, they are being replaced by the vertebrae of backbone. Okay. Next is that we do have the ectodermal tissue that form a spinal cord. So we can call it as a dorsal or tubular nerve cord. And then also they have a muscle and skeletal elements that will provide propulsive forces for swimming. This one is referred to their posternal tail over here. And also last but not least is that they have a muscular tube, or known as a suspension feeding device in invertebrates, and also the gas exchange in aquatic vertebrates, and also jaw and hearing for hearing function in vertebrates. So this is the same, more detailed explanation about the notochord, the nerve cord, the muscular tube, which is referred to the suspension feeding device, and also the posternal tail. Okay, so let's look on the first invertebrate, and the first invertebrate subphylum under phylum Chordata, which is Subphylum Cephalochordata, and in which we refer to the lancelet. So lancelet or hagfishes, okay, very small, and this one fish-like animal. They look like a fish with tapered body, and they resemble fishes, except that they possess a simpler body plan because you cannot find any fin here. Okay, and the lack of well-defined head, the lack of well-defined jaw, the fin, and also the heart. And these lancelets are filter feeder. Look at their mouth here, where they will lie buried in the sand. They will filter the food from the streams of the water that passing through their pharynx, okay, this one, okay, and the food particle that are trapped in the mucus of their pharynx will be carried into their intestine, okay, and they have a simpler brain, okay, that develop from the anterior end of the nerve cord over here, okay, and which later will control the reflex responses to light and also other stimuli. And the muscle for lancelet, the muscle are arranged in segmented pattern on both sides of the notochord, okay, the red in color over here, okay, and the circulation is closed circulation, okay, meaning to say they have a closed circulatory system where the respiration is directly across the body wall, where the oxygen and also carbon dioxide will simply diffuse across their thin skin, okay, or their moist skin. And lancelet also will leave their burrow frequently to swim to a new location. So they always migrate from one place to another place to find food. And due to low metabolic rate, they are feeble swimmer that will follow a simple swimming mechanism that's quite similar to fishes. Okay, and also lancelet, they display all four of the vertebrate characteristics throughout their life. As I mentioned earlier, they possess a notochord, they possess the ectodermal tissue, they are have suspension feeding device, and also they possess a posternal tail. So let's look on the other group of invertebrate under Phylum Chordata, which is Subphylum Urochordata. So Subphylum Urochordata includes the tunicates and also the sea squirts that are marine organisms covered with a gelatinous tunic. Okay, this one. Okay, tunicate. So the larval stage of tunicate, they resemble a tadpole. Look here, they really look like a tadpole, and they have a notochord. Okay, this one, the notochord, the nerve cord, and also a tail. They are free living and motile, can move from one place to another place, and their movement resemble fishes with a contractions to muscle that will lead to motions by the notochord. So radical metamorphosis, meaning to say they have to change their physical characteristic um, um, during the metamorphosis in the adults, and the adults metamorphosis will result in a loss of the notochord and also the tail over here, okay, and a regressions of the notochord will be shortened, and the expansions of the pairings for filterpeder. So meaning to say they have three things that will change during the radical metamorphosis of adults of tunicate, which is the loss of notochord and a tail, the regressions of the nerve cord, and also an expansions of the fairing for filter feeder. So during the larva stage, they are motile, meaning to say they can move from one place to another place. However, when they are adult already, the adult of tunicate will become a sessile filter feeder, means that they just stay in one place, and they will maintaining a constant flow of water through the gill slits, okay, the gill slits over here into the body that will bring the food particles and oxygen and carry away the waste. So the pharynx is also a respiratory organ which later helps in the oxygen and also carbon dioxide gas changes. And the tunicate also develop a protective covering that called as a tunic. This one, okay, this is a protective covering for the body that are very soft and transparent, Okay, and also they have two openings. First one known as the in-current siphon, and the next one at the bottom here is known as the ex-current siphon. And in-current siphon functions for the entry of the food and also the water. Meanwhile, for the ex-current siphon, in which the water will flow out from the body, it functions for the exit of the water, the waste product, and also the gamete they produced by the tunicates. And when irritated, they will force a streams of water from the excurrent siphon and giving them a common name as sea squirts, because they squirt the streams of water from the excurrent siphon when they are feeling irritated. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, as you can see here, this one is referred to the excurrent siphon, and this part is known as the incurrent siphon. It's very clear over here. And next, let's look on the rise of the craniates. So Craniates is referred to the animals that having a brain. So the next characteristic that appear in evolutions of Phylum Chordata is the appearance of a head. So Subphylum Urochordata and Subphylum Cephalochordata do not have a brain. Okay, so craniate or head. So craniates are animals today that have a brain inside a cranium, which is a chamber of cartilage or bone. So among the earliest craniates, the one that have a brain, are the jawless fish that were the ostracoderms, okay, under the superclass of Agnatha. So let's look on the craniates that being extinct already. Okay, this one example of the craniates is that uh, Hycoela. So Hycoela, they are the most primitive craniate fossil that have been found, and the leg of pair of the pectoral and also the pelvic fins of more advanced fish. Okay. Next is that this one is for the craniates. Next is that Therapsis, as you can see here. Therapsis, they possess pair fins and also inner ear. However, in some cases, the small spines were present at point where pair fins develop in higher fishes, and also they possess a muscular belly to suck bottom dwelling organism. And next example of the jawless fish or jawless fish of the one that under the craniates, which is the lamprey and also the hagfish. Both of them, both of lamprey and hagfish, they do possess craniates. However, they lack of jaws, okay, and also a pair of fins, and both of them are cylindrical eel-like body. Their body look like a eel, which can measure up to 1 meter long. And the smooth skin leg of the scales, and they are supported by a well-developed notochord inside the body and also cartilaginous skeleton. Okay, but the skeleton is not made from the bone. Okay, it made from the cartilage. So let's look more detail on the hagfish. So hagfish are scavengers, okay, as you can see here, that look like a very large worm. However, they are non-parasitic. They have partial craniums on the head and they are blind, so therefore they rely on the feeler or the tentacle, okay, around the mouth for sensory functions because they cannot see. So they usually burrow themselves on the ocean's floor and also prey on a small invertebrate like the polychaetes besides scavenging the injured or dead fishes. So their rate of metabolism is too slow, causing them unable to lead an active lifestyle. So when hagfish in danger, they will secrete a column of sticky and stinky mucus around their body, in which and also they produce a very large and thick shell eggs, about 1 inch long, to protect their offspring. Okay, so for lamprey is parasitic compared to hagfish, and they are very parasitic to other fish, in which they will attach to the other fish with an oral sucker like this over here, as you can see here. Okay, they usually will suck the blood and wraps away the flesh from the host cell. Okay, so most of the lamprey are marine species, and only some of them are non-parasitic that only live in the fresh water. But if you can find the lamprey on the sea, they are parasites, okay, to the other fishes. And some of them will spend their adult life in ocean, and they will return to the fresh water to reproduce.